And before we start, I would like you to ask to introduce yourself to us.
Definitely. So my name is Sophie de Kipel. So as you said, French speaking, living in Belgium, but with my heart in France because I found my paradise there. And I'm a certified life coach and so a burnout survivor. So I didn't read a burnout in books, but I really lived it until my body said stop. And I'm a former director, European director in a multinational company. And now today as a specialist on a burnout recovery as a coach.
Fantastic. So two coaches met. I'm a former also manager and director of corporate life with purchase and selling. And but for 15 years, my heart is with supporting women in change. So for last 3 years, I've been coaching, mentoring, and running some programs, development programs for women. And why we also? Because actually we met last year in October in Malaysia.
That's right.
We went there for some training, and it was amazing because there was like 400 people, and out of them we met, and we experienced great support. So this is what we are doing on the daily basis with for other people. We also support each other there with. Oh my God, it was a very, very deep work, I would say. How do you remember it, Sophie?
Yeah, it was amazing what we have experienced. We didn't know exactly what will happen. And the life has brought us together in the same tribe and making several exercises together. We were the same size, more or less, and we could support each other. And we found out, we learned who we were both of who we are, both of us. And we saw that we have many things in common in our life experience, and we could really support each other, and it was just fantastic. It was amazing because we could overcome some blocks that we had, some challenges and some beliefs
Yes,
together,
yes,
which it was so memorable. I mean, for me, it was just magic. It was magic. It was a great experience.
I have
And
goosebumps.
yeah, and I'm really happy that we keep these connections. We meet on a regular basis to
Yes,
support each other. We are true buddies, even if we are both together, both coach, but we are complementing and helping each other to
yes.
go through our lives and experience. And that's just wonderful. And thank you for that because I really appreciate those moments.
Thank you. And this is another one example that when women are supporting each other, then the miracles come out, and then really life is changing. And I think having other girl or behind our back is so important, and that's why I love to work with women, and I dedicated my now this now business, but I don't know how to say in English, my life to support women in change.
Exactly.
To
Yeah.
show that it's possible. It's possible.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's jump into our subject. You started to say that you didn't have it from the book.
Yeah,
You didn't learn it, you didn't
oh,
read it, but you experienced.
exactly, exactly. So, if you allow me, I will explain a little bit what has happened with me,
Yes.
because that's also it's really the burnout as such. I mean, yeah. So when I was young, I was always told, I think. Actually, I pleased all my life because I was told always that I was not capable, I was not good enough, I need to do more. So I spent my life proving to myself and to others that I'm capable.
Mm.
And I did a beautiful career. And as I mentioned, I grew up until being a European director.
Yeah.
I lived in different countries, and but then the COVID came, restructuring, and a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and I started to take over too many responsibilities.
Mm.
And that's the trap when we spend our life compensating, trying to prove that we can do it, whatever happens, what anything what happens in life. We are there, we can do, we manage, we strive through the pressure, and but suddenly we take over too much. And I didn't realize that I was taking too much. Nobody asked me to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what happened until I ignore completely all signs, even my body. And it's my body who told me one day, stop.
Mm.
What do I mean with when the body says stop? I was suddenly paralyzed. I couldn't go wake up in the get up in the morning. And during 1 month, I was completely blocked. My body literally said, stop it, Sophie.
Mm.
And at the beginning, you don't understand, but then slowly you start to understand because as your mindset is always do more, do more, do more, and you have to prove it's not normal, you start to feel guilty.
Yeah.
But then when you can't move, you think, okay, what is happening? What is my body telling me? And I got also support from specialist, and this is what I learned that actually, if you don't stop yourself, your body will tell you what to do, and it's important to listen to yourself. So I learned that way. And I did all the experience what a burnout can do because I thought I can still do it even when I was feeling myself a little bit better. So I worked again. But yeah, well, this was not enough. I really had to work into myself, self development, develop myself and learn what happened, what I have built through my whole life that doesn't serve me.
Mm.
And that's what now, because I found this so beautiful, and being a very strong people manager because I love people. And what I discovered going through this burnout, I want now to help women to realize and to give the tips and tricks to them
Mm.
for to thrive. But the most important is not just because I feel I'm doing better, I'm rested, I can start, but to never go into burnout anymore by changing and reconstructing the inner by a program that have the Be Vibrant, but I will explain later on.
Yeah.
But that's really what I gathered, all the experience, and also from my clients, how to go through this experience and take it as a positive and actually to make it out of that a strength.
Yeah. And thank you. I had similar, but my body didn't stop me.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks God. However, I touched a bit of depression. I started to touch depression, and then when I went for help, started the therapy, then started the 2 years workshop for women running by a psychiatrist and a psychotherapist. Then I realized that there is something else than only work, that
Mm-hmm.
that there is a life inside me, that I'm not only here to work, going for dates, have a boyfriend, or crappy relationships, because it was the stage of my life, and there is something else in this life. Yeah. And I must say that you were lucky, and you were smart to dig deeper. Yeah, because sometimes we are going to some let's say a specialist, we or a doctor, we are receiving the recipe and prescription, and that's all. Or they will tell you, how we had this discussion, okay, you need a rest.
Yeah.
But what exactly does it mean,
Mm.
resting? Yeah, sometimes people, they think they rest because they sit, they scroll the phone, and they are so relaxed. No, it's not. No, it's not. If you dig deeper, then you know that it's not relaxing. And really, to the relaxation, the resting, you really need to know what supports you. And what's most important, you need to negotiate with your own head that, yes, now we are doing this because it's working for us, not
Yeah.
what we think
Yeah.
it's working. Yes.
Yeah, and it totally resonates with me because I will tell you a small story. When after a couple of months of my burnout, I went to a doctor
Mhm.
and a specialist on the burnout, and I did a traject with psychologist and coach. And my first session, I was ready to go back to work, and we had a long walk together. We spoke, and he said, I was telling him I'm ready to go back, and on the 1st of January, or the 2nd, better to say, I'll start again to work. And he said, well, Sophie, you are not ready. Yes, yes, I'm ready, I'm ready. And I was totally convinced.
Mhm.
But he said, no, you are not ready. And I ignored as well his advice. And I went
Uh-huh.
to work. And what happened? 2 months after, back on burnout. Because I ignored even that. And that's why I'm saying as well that it's important to work on our beliefs, on our habits,
Yeah.
to understand really deepen into the personal development, to see what can we do differently, because
Mm.
we never go back to where we were before. When we have a burnout, it doesn't exist.
Mm.
We are not going back to the past, we go towards the future. So we need to make some adaptation to ourselves. Sometimes
Yeah.
a deeper adaptation, sometimes a bigger change, sometimes less. It depends on the person.
Yeah, so yeah, and if it depends on the person, also the symptoms of the burnout are different. Yeah, so
Exactly.
if we could also park here and tell how the burnout can look like. Yeah, so um, yeah, so if somebody who's watching us has these symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so maybe it's the time now to just stop and realize that something's going wrong, that maybe it's the time that we need to start to take care of ourselves.
Exactly. So on the burnout, we have the symptoms are going to the three level: the mental, the physical, and the emotional level. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, on the physical level, your body, you are tired. You are very tired, as we mentioned earlier. It's a deep exhaustion in the body. And when we say burnout, burn, you have the word burn.
Yeah.
It's really from the inside, you feel completely depleted. And then you can have a headache, digestion problems. You can have, yeah, sometimes you are paralyzed. You don't know, you can't move anymore, like I had myself. You can have sleep disorder. Those are
Yes.
the physical, and they are different. They are more than that, but those are the main one. Then you have on the emotional, where you feel totally unstable. You start to cry. You don't know why.
Mm.
On very often, that's also what when I was really in the deep phase of the burnout, I could cry for hours and I couldn't stop. I couldn't control myself.
Mm.
But also we feel detached. We feel also very guilty because we are not working, while we are used to work a lot, to take a
Mm.
lot of responsibility, and we feel guilty.
Yeah.
Then you have on the mental side where you have your brain fog. It's completely foggy. You don't see clearly anymore. Even
Mm.
you see that also physically, it goes to the physical. Your brain goes into your eyes where it's swamped. You know, like when you take there is a shower in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I know, I know, I know. The
fog.
fog. Mm-hmm.
And you have, yeah, completely the fog. Or it's difficult to take decisions. So all those are signs that you have when you have burnout. And what is important to know, it's not something that you have from one day to another. It's something that comes in a way, a sneaky way along the years, because and it's an exhaustion and an accumulation of stress that you didn't realize that came into yourself.
Yes.
And then, Mhm,
Sometimes when I remember when I was working with people in corporation, I had some
mhm,
teams and so on. People, they are just were getting sick, and they were the interpret. They thought that okay, it's about aging.
mhm,
Okay, I am just tired, or it's just happened because of the accident, or I'm a bad luck, or because there are different types of illnesses, yeah. But
yeah,
then they don't connect the dots that this
mhm,
is permanent stress, that this is
exactly.
permanent pressure,
Mhm,
that you are allowing yourself to be in this environment,
exactly.
and you don't connect because going to work, having a job, taking all these tasks, it's normal stuff, yeah.
Mhm,
It's just normal. We are normalized too much stress, too big responsibility.
exactly.
Why? Yeah, why the hell we are doing this to ourselves?
Yeah, and that's very often we as women, most of us were trained to be useful, to be pleasant,
Yeah,
to be resilient, to be
people
flexible.
pleasing. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. To be flexible, to adapt ourselves.
yeah.
And that's somehow inheritance from generation that we are built like that. Most of us. I'm not saying everyone, but most of us. And that's one of the reasons why we as women are more hit by the burnout. But it's not only women who are. There are also men.
You know
When
how proud I was. It was like 20 years ago when I was in my corporation. Then when I saw this advert about getting a job when we were hiring somebody, and it was like and you are resisting of stressful environment. I
Mm,
was so proud of myself that that I can handle this stressful environment. That yeah, like I was waiting for a prize. That I survived so many years, and oh my God, what we are doing to
yeah,
to ourselves.
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
No, I have one story where actually that attract my attention. One
Mm-hmm.
person said once, very often when we apply for a job, a very common question is about, do you stand stress? Because yes, in companies it's very often needed, and you have a lot of stress. So can you stand stress? And the person said, no. And he said, who can handle stress from what you are asking? Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And he is so damn right. Why do we need already from a hiring perspective have a standard? Can you handle stress? That
Yes.
means you bring already the people to, I hope not, of course, but that's already a sign that it's not normal, you know? And I have to say, me as I was also a hiring manager and director, and it was also a question. And I realized when I had that client who was telling me this story, I said, yeah, but he is so damned right. What a question.
Yes.
You build people to be on burnout because it's not normal to have that stress. A little
Yes.
bit it's normal because you are strive and you have this energy, but to a certain point.
It's normal that we have stress. Yes, life is stressful because
Yeah,
we have problems we need to solve
exactly.
out. There is no situation in the life that the problems are disappearing. Yeah, we are learning how to handle problems, but getting a job to have even more stress and to be prepared that yes, I now I need to be with still like um, yeah, like armed with the steel that I can handle the stress. Yeah, what the hell? And I would like also ask you some question. I mean, I know the answer, but people don't know. What's the difference between the burnout and the depression? Because all
Mhm.
problems are very nowadays important, yeah,
Mm.
because depression is a illness actually already, yeah, but they are that the symptoms are very similar. So where we could on what we should look at.
Mhm, mhm. So I think, I mean, I'm not a specialist on depression,
Of
but
course.
what is important, we are not here also to diagnose. Uh, in a very simple terms, so that anyone can understand, is a depression you are not fighting against, which a burnout, and I really like this way of comparing it. You deny, the state that you're on burnout
Mm-hmm.
because you want to continue. You
Mm-hmm.
want to do more. It's only your body telling you it's enough.
Yeah.
While a depression, you are not fighting. And it's something, depression, it's in a long term as well built.
Mm-hmm.
And in depression, you let go completely.
Mm.
While in the burnout, you are more disconnected from your body and your mind, and it's denying with guilt, you know as well, because you are not working, you want to work,
Mm-hmm.
while the depression is less by doing that. And also, one very important point in the comparison is burnout. Most of the time, you know why you are on burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Depression, you don't know, you don't understand. But whatever, what is important is if you feel really that it's very strong, it's you are in an acute state, always consult.
Mm-hmm.
Always consult your doctor.
Yeah.
That's really important because any acute situation you need to consult. Burnout or coaches, we are not here to handle how do you say that, the acute state. We are there to rebuild, but to handle the acute state is always important to consult.
Mm. It's also, I think another point is that the burnout is connected with one area. Yeah, for
Yes.
example, the job we are doing, but
Mhm.
depression is connected to totally our
Everything.
life.
Yes.
Yeah, because in we can say that I cannot handle any longer doing these things. Yeah, being there, this job, whatever, and in the depression I cannot handle anything.
And it's
Yeah, so
strong.
the life is too hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
not only the job I'm doing, the thing I'm doing, or whatever it is, but here with depression is like a it's about total life. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
only about
Yeah.
one subject. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And burnout is very often triggered with the work, but that doesn't mean that it's the work the problem.
Mm. Yeah. That's why we put the title that this is like wake up call, because it has nothing
Exactly.
to do with the job, with
Exactly.
the work, with these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And uh, yeah, it's not about the job. And I'm looking at our points because another one is about that we are connecting this, that burnout is about having a job,
Mm.
working for a corporate. Yeah,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
it's not only this. Yeah,
Mm.
what can be the source? Maybe not source, but what kind of different situations we can meet with burnout?
So we can meet burnout in any kind of job. So if we are mother, we can have also this kind of, we don't feel energized anymore. We work empty. And all often it's linked to responsibility. So it can be as an entrepreneur, a caregiver, all kind of jobs. It's not only corporate, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's really important because it's linked to an overload of responsibility, an overload of work, and not being recognized as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's an important point, recognition. And for example, we mentioned about being as a mother, because I lived myself. I was 6 years mother at home with
Mm-hmm.
twins, and you don't have any recognition from anyone because it's not a title,
Mm-hmm.
mother.
Yeah.
So it's normal. And if you start to feel, okay, this is my normal work, that you need to continue to work and to manage everything, and
Yeah.
you can get burnt out of that.
Yeah. This is a strong message to all mothers who are working
Yeah.
as a mothers at home, who are
Mm.
taking care of house, of children, animals, logistic, whatever. You can also feel burnout,
Exactly.
and don't let other or even yourself say that there is something wrong with me.
Exactly.
because this is normal. And we are coming back to the point that we are taking too much on ourselves, because this is so important to know who I am and how much sensitive I am and what I can handle, because not everyone can handle the same stuff.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
we also need to understand that we are the same, but we are different.
Mm.
And let yourself to handle under this part. Other person can handle this part, but also has different challenges with herself. So we cannot compare, how to say in English, eye to eye, or I don't know how to say it, but we are so different that we can't compare to other person, because we are built different. We have different structure. We have different past. Yeah. So
Yeah, everybody is, it's an individual situation, and we need to take care about ourselves. That's
yes,
really important for any kind of job. Even if we think we don't have a job like a mother, it's not a real in front of the society because we don't receive a salary when we are mother at home. Yes, it is a full-time job. It can be exhausted because it's not only the children, then you have your husband coming at home, you have the dinner from in the morning to the evening. You never stop, and you can be
yes,
exhausted as well.
yes.
So never underestimate yourself. That's my message to everyone. Never underestimate yourself.
And I'm saying this. I'm not a mother. I'm not a wife, and I can say, I see you. I,
Mm,
who
yes.
doesn't have this experience, I see
Mm,
you, because I talked with so many mothers, friends, my clients. I see
mhm.
you. So just stop and let yourself, connect
Yeah.
with this what's here. Yeah, these emotions, this mental state, my physical, my body. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, that's it. That's important.
Mm. So it's not only corporation, it's about everything we are doing. Even our passion can burn us out. Yeah, it's like um,
Everything what we do in extreme,
mm,
we can start to feel exhaustion. And that's one point where we need to be careful. I mean, it's also when we eat too much, we feel sick. Everything what is too much. And that's how we need to be aware more and more. And that's really important to create this awareness of what is happening, what we are doing. Because anything, an event plus an action to that event will create a reaction, an outcome,
mm,
and this outcome will regulate either to go to an extreme or to stay stable
yeah.
or to deplete to yourself. And
Mm.
it's for me it's a magical formula. The event plus the action will give an outcome, and you and only you can decide about this action that you will give to the outcome.
Yes.
I love this formula because you are the owner of your life. Very often we say no, we are not. We have no choice. If you dig into more the personal development and you learn more about yourself, you will see that you have always a choice.
Yes. And we are not talking about climbing Mount Everest or
Ex-
moving to Australia from New Zealand, from Europe tomorrow, or we are talking about these small steps, not
Mm-hmm.
even every day, but every minute, every hour. These are these smallest steps, decision, thoughts, words we are making
Exactly.
all the time, every minute. So don't think about the change like something huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you start to do the small changes, small steps, and then I will ask you about the steps today and tomorrow. So at the third day, you will start to notice the change, and you can come back to this 2 days before and say, okay, I started 2 days ago, but I already did it and I feel different. But it's
Mm-hmm.
also a decision if I'm present, yeah, here and now, and if I dedicate this time for myself to be aware of my feelings, of my thoughts, of my
Exactly.
actions. So, about making steps. So, what would you recommend for a woman who thinks now that, okay, I can say loudly that I feel burnout or I'm starting to feel burnout. What she can do now? What kind of first steps she can do?
Mm-hmm. So there are different steps in the sense that depending on when the person, the woman realize that they are starting to slightly slept, how do you say it in English, that you go down into the burnout,
Yeah.
you can still stop that by creating this awareness, because it's already wonderful if the person realize. It's not everybody who realize that is going towards a burnout. And I will just give you an example which I understood later, because I think, and I would really would like to take this moment to explain that, because I really see that people can um, see it before they got their body saying stop, or the
Mm,
body is answering, or telling the person that it's stop. It's when you start to feel irritated, you start abnormal irritated. Very
mm,
important. I felt myself, and how do I realize that I was myself irritated? I started to criticize more and more people, which was not at all my way of living. Then I started to chew chewing gums till late evening, because I was so, and I was chewing, which I hate chewing gum. You know?
okay.
And those were signs really at the before falling into burnout, were also the one that when I had to take, or I was starting to take the responsibility of everyone, for my teams, which obviously is normally, but also for my bosses and the bosses
Mm,
of my bosses. I wanted to save and to protect the whole world, the whole company, all the clients. No, no. And those kind of trigger, if you recognize, be aware of those points, because they are not the right one. So they are really, I mean, the right attitude to have. They will
mm,
lead you to a burnout. So if you feel in that situation, like I felt myself, create this awareness, because you're most likely going into burnout. So, but when you are in an acute, and that's another phase, so you have the pre-burnout, and then you have the deep burnout, where you are, as mentioned, either completely frozen or you don't stop to cry. Those are acute moments of stress. Consult.
mm,
Consult a specialist, a doctor,
mm,
a psychiatric, a psychologic.
Yeah.
It's really important. And then you have at that moment, they will guide you into this acute moment. And then you have those what you can do to develop, to go deeper into your personal development, which, as mentioned earlier, through my experience, burnout is not about resting a little bit. You mentioned as well, and that's so true. It's also about reconstructing,
Yes.
making sure you are not falling into the burnout, because you will never go back to where you were before burnout. It doesn't exist, because your body told you you need to align your emotion, your mental, and your physical, all your level, to make sure you find some stability, that you find an inner joy, but not in a joy that is linked to I have a beautiful house, I have a huge car, and whatever from the outside in.
Yeah.
It's really to feel this deep into yourself. You don't need anyone in your relationship or anything to have this joy.
It's yeah, and sometimes also we women, people generally nowadays would love to take a pill, like in Matrix in the movie. Take a
Yes.
pill and your problems will disappear. Yeah, people nowadays love these quick solutions. Yeah, okay, scroll more knowledge. Okay, let's go. Yeah, but after this scrolling, after this knowledge, nothing is changing. Yeah.
Exactly.
And really, we need supportive environment to make a change. If we are stuck in the same, there is no motivation, there is no other lights. We are just seeing the same, we are feeling the same. So that's why the support, the specialist, different people, it really make a shift, it really make a change. And because if you are so tired that your motivation is so low and you can't burn this motivation again, there is you are not even able to inspire yourself. So go and find another person. Go and find another circle of people, circle of women that they will support you. You know, if sometimes it's even like this, that you need to say goodbye to your friends, to the people who you thought they were good for you. No, because yeah, as you said, there is no coming back after burnout. Yeah. No. We are becoming total different people, and this what I always repeating, and also reminding myself: be curious, have this curiosity of the child. When you are, again, to mothers, it's never ending subject. When you are curious about your children, how does it feel? If it's if it's not hungry, how was at school, how was in the kindergarten, why you are not so curious about yourself? How do you feel if you are hungry? What your body is telling you? We are the same. So why we are I know why, but stop giving your whole focus on the outside. And that's why the burnout is like a waking up call, because your whole being is knocking to your door. Hello, I'm here. Can you see me? It's the last call. I would love to have a connection. That's
exactly.
why it's happening to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, a beautiful way of make it clear is also that like happiness, this inner joy or the happiness in general, um, is out of what? It's 50% out of DNA. So where we have less control, we carry it from the past, from the generation to generation. Then you have, and you have only 10% that are from the outside world, from circumstances.
Mm.
The majority of the people, and me included, we think that our all happiness is based on the circumstances. But actually, research shows it's only 10%, a tiny 10% of our life that bring you us joy. But
Yeah.
what are the 40% where we have a full control? It's about the habits that we have, our beliefs that we have. And that's wonderful. That's a good news that actually those are where we have, I would not say easiest way to change because nothing is easy, but where we are able to change beliefs and or to modify or to adapt to be
Mm.
more happy. But even now, nowadays, researchers are showing us that the 50% of our DNA, we can change that as well.
And we are ending with the decision. Yeah. This
Exactly,
is only
exactly,
decision, and the decision means acting. Yeah.
exactly.
Decision is not that, okay, I said so.
Mm-hmm.
So and nothing is changing. Decision, it means I act differently, I think differently, I'm saying differently, I'm acting differently. This is the decision. I'm not thinking about, okay, I want to lose now 5 kilo. It's not about okay, I'm making decision, I'm losing 5 kilo. So it means that I block sugars, I start some movements, and this is decision. It's not only about thinking, yeah, that I will think what I want. It's about acting, because the change is like a realization and acting. Then we have change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
I think
And
that.
what is
Mhm.
so important to this acting is repetition. We can change our habits, our belief, if we repeat it.
Yes.
And I like your comparison with the diet. If you do it for 1 day or 1 week, yeah, you might lose 1, 2, 3 kilo, but they will not last, because if you are not repeating that or
Yes.
changing the way of eating, you will get those kilos back very quickly. So, and that's where, from research perspective, they say 21 days for changing a habit, and 63 days so that it's really installed in yourself, that
Mm-hmm.
it incorporated this new way of or new habit.
Or even 3 months. When you break 3 months, then it's even more possible that you will keep on doing. Yeah.
Exactly. So 60, yeah, it's exactly. You have to, that's why I'm saying repetition, it's important. Our mind like repetition.
Yes.
Mm.
And at the end, I want to also add that remember that we have only this one life here now,
Mm-hmm.
and that you are the important person, most important person for yourself. That if you don't love yourself, if you don't like yourself, So who do you expect would do this? And the intention of doing stuff is also important, yeah, because if I decide to change it, if I decide to leave this burnout, work on this, I'm doing this because I do care about myself, not because they will fire me or they will judge me or whatever. It's about the internal job. Yeah. How I would have another question about other stuff, but how would you end this subject, Sophie, for today about burnout? What would you say it one sentence to the woman?
I would say love yourself, respect yourself, and learn about yourself.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much. And I would like also to ask you to what you are inviting women.
Yes. So through all this experience, life experience, now I'm passionate about helping the women to who are in burnout and coming out of burnout and want to make sure they will never go back to burnout. And for that, I created a program called Be Vibrant. And the Be Vibrant stands for the value awareness, the V for value awareness, the I with the inner responsibility, the B for the boundaries restoration, the R for the regulation and stability, A for aligned, N for natural energy, very important, and the T for the true leadership. So all those aspects are in the program that I have to make sure that people never go back to burnout and to find these strengths and being aligned with themselves, love themselves, and can go back to work confident, with self-confidence, but that's very important.
Fantastic. Yeah, super. So if anyone is interested, so please
Yeah.
connect with Sophie. I also want to share that soon, at the end of May, the new program will start. It's like in English, I would translate it into notice yourself, see yourself. It's about like also stop and see in what you are, why you don't see yourself, what's the what you can change, what kind of contact you have with yourself. More about the program I will be talking on Tuesday, because I will be running live about the program. So if you are interested, I'm inviting you. And of course, individual session, you are more than welcome. So thank you for today. Thank you everybody who is watching it. And be curious about yourself, take care of yourself, and surround yourself with people who can support you and who can help you. Yeah.
Thank you, Sylwia. Thank you for
Thank you,
inviting me.
Sophie. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.
Bye. See you.